for the City Music Service in Stoke-on-Trent. Angela's going to take us back to basics. So, Angela.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. I don't know if this is going to be a bit of a session of teaching my grandmother to suck eggs, because I know we've got some very experienced practitioners out there. But I think if lockdown's done anything, it's caused me to reflect on what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and how is it going to help those children the most. So we're going to be talking about routines and how we can give children the security to perform in and join in. I don't know if any of you have found lockdown has affected the children that you're working with, but my own granddaughter decided that she could no longer speak, and becoming a selective mute, she would only speak at home with her mum. If she saw us, then we were not able to become close. She couldn't speak to us. The only time she did actually speak was she used a toy, and she would speak through Skylar off Paw Patrol, which was wonderful that she would talk to us, but it was a really annoying American accent because that was the version she watched on the television. But it caused me to think then about how we can encourage the children in our early years settings to join in and participate. And I found in some of the settings, because the children haven't been singing, you know, we all know that adult choirs are fighting to be able to sing. Well, some schools and children haven't been doing the singing that they would have normally been doing. And we've all experienced that first few sessions when nursery come in September, when you as the practitioner are doing the solo because they are not confident enough to join in. So I certainly noticed an increase in that post-COVID. It'd be interesting to know if any of you have experienced any challenges and difficulties as a result of the children having been in lockdown. So the question then was, how was I going to engage and encourage these children to join in? And this is why I said teaching my grandmother to suck eggs, the benefits of puppets. Hopefully everybody has experienced. I've got a little table here with some of my favourites on. I've got my lovely Sadie the spider who pops up. I usually use that the children have to sing, else Sadie won't pop up. So that's one. There's my lovely Trenton Gardens puppet, for those of you near enough to have access to the monkey forest, the shot there. And Mickey Monkey won't shriek like that unless the children are engaging or the children singing. Pick puppets up all over the place. I got the lovely dragon at the Tower of London. This is one of my favourites. She's rather gorgeous. Also on the lookout for ones that would engage the boys. I mean, girls can engage with them as well, but I've got a pirate, a knight, because I found I was using Princess Blossom and some of the boys weren't so keen on her, but it was nice to be able to find other puppets. So puppets, children will sing to a puppet when they won't sing for you as an adult. It's a wonderful engagement tool. And over the years, I've seen some fantastic results with puppets, including with autistic children who would ordinarily have some issues over communicating with you. They won't sing for me, they'll sing for the puppet. Charity shops are brilliant for this, finding lots and lots of puppets. I found creating a routine as well, starting with a puppet, perhaps that we sing the hello song to the puppet before we sing the hello song to us. Earlier on, Lucy shared a hello song with you, one that I've used quite recently, and we've used signs. So, you know, hello to you, glad that you are here. Signing's been really useful as well. When I talked about Florence, my granddaughter, she actually started using Makaton signs because she would communicate with us, but she wasn't keen about speaking. We actually have bought a wonderful book called The Lion Who Lost His Roar that was recommended to us by a speech therapist friend, and that's been really helpful to her. And she's certainly now, things are coming back to normal, becoming more communicative with us. So in terms of a hello song, here's one that I use. So off we go. Hello, hello to everyone. Hello, hello to everyone. Hello, hello to everyone. We hope you have a very nice day today. So every session would start with a song similar to that, and we'd end with the goodbye song, which is just the hello song with the different words. I also do a warm-up routine. Obviously, there are vocal benefits from doing a warm-up routine, but also it's creating that structure for the children to relate to. So they know we've done the hello song, we're going into a warm-up routine. I wonder if I could call upon my ladies to perhaps come and join me. And then they can act as the class of children. I hope you realise that's what we were doing earlier with when we were helping Di out. Okay, so I might do some physical activities like, have you got your mixing bowl? We're going to make a cake. Let's mix that mixture round. Oh, Harriet, what cake are you mixing?
Chocolate.
Oh, sounds yummy. How about Penny?
Worms.
Oh, lovely. Di?
Strawberry.
Yummy. Okay, put your spoon down and put your finger in the cake. Have a little taste. Mmm. Can you do that sound too? Mmm. Mmm, mmm, mmm. Lovely. Oh, it's such a beautiful hot day. How about if we go swimming? Push that water out of the way. Oh, that's great. Uh-oh, there's a shark coming. Let's go swimming faster. Are we out of the way yet? Gosh, try yourself. Fabulous. After all that exercise, we'd perhaps better have something to eat. In my pocket, I've got a sweet. Going to open the wrapper. Going to smell it. Mine smells of vanilla. Hattie, what does yours smell of?
Apple.
Yummy. Penny?
Toffee.
Di, what's yours?
I was going to do toffee.
What?
Chocolate.
Well, you could have had toffee, that's fine. Pop it into your mouth. I'll have a big chew. Make as much noise as you like. And take it out and pop it on the bedpost for later. I always usually start with some physical activities and then move on to warming up the voice with the little people and do some sirening. And I ask them at first to watch me and then copy me. Ooh. Ooh. Obviously, we're warming up the voice, but we're also showing pitch with our hands. And I do that right with FS1, FS2 children, doing lots of little warm-ups like that. And very often I do the climbing up to 8 and back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then, of course, we can come down. I've also found, as well as establishing a routine, that trying to reach the children with the songs that they definitely know. If we're going in with brand new material, even though it may be very simple, they may not wish to engage. So I have somewhere, I've got a box. Aha, I have my box. I'm going to undo my box. Now, when I introduced this song, I actually got the song from the book Hubble Bubble. And as soon as I introduced it, the lovely lady practitioners I was working with said, "That's too high, we can't sing up there." It wasn't too high, but if they were uncomfortable with it, then I felt I needed to do something about it. So basically I rewrote the tune. I just took the words out of the song in Hubble Bubble, but altered the tune so it was a little more accessible. Which went like this: what can we find in the toy box?
What shall we find in the toy box?
What can we find to bring out?
What can we find to bring out?
What can we find in the toy box?
What can we find in the toy box?
That we can sing about.
That we can sing about.
Now, the first few weeks I did that, there was very little going on, even though it was an echo. But now I have to do it for half term. The children are ready for it. I'm struggling to find things to keep in the box. Right, the first thing I've got in my box is a star. Ladies, can any of you think of a song about a star? Oh, Harriet.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
Oh, they usually want to do that one. Yes, yes, twinkle, twinkle. So obviously then at that point we'd be singing, twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. What can we find in the toy box?
What can we find in the toy box?
What can we find to bring out?
What can we find to bring out?
What can we find in the toy box?
What can we find in the toy box?
That we can sing about.
That we can sing about.
Die.
Chop, chop, choppity chop.
I love that. Yes, let's do chop, chop. Chop, chop, choppity chop. Cut off the bottom and chop off the top. What we have left we'll put in the pot. Chop, chop, choppity chop. So what vegetable are you going to put in, Di? Carrot. And then we carry on putting in the various vegetables into our pot. And I did this the other week in a school, and the children immediately wanted to make it a fruit salad. So we were chopping up fruit. And again, with all these songs, there's endless possibilities. It's just a case of keeping it fresh and open-ended, and all sorts of ideas come from the children. What shall we find in the toy box?
What shall we find in the toy box?
What can we find to bring out?
What can we find to bring out?
What shall we find in the toy box?
What shall we find in the toy box?
That we can sing about.
That we can sing about.
So what could we sing for this?
Peter Rabbit's got a
Why?
upon his nose.
Peter Rabbit's got a fly upon his nose.
Peter
Rabbit's got a fly upon his nose, and he flipped it and he flopped it and the fly. And then we've got floppy ears and curly whiskers and all those. We don't need to do anymore. I know you're getting the idea of what we can do. If you haven't got a toy box, I have been doing it as a toy bag. I think Penny's going to share something a bit later to do with the bag. So I thought, right, okay, we'll revert to toy box for this, just to give you a few different ideas. So using lots of puppets and props, children engaging with someone or something other than yourself. Great song, back again in Hubble Bubble, and I have provided a bibliography for the books of music I've used for my session. Great one in Hubble Bubble is Five Little Kangaroos. So I said to my granddaughter Florence, who seems to be featuring a lot in this, can I borrow your kangaroo, please? Well, I was allowed to, but he needed his food and she wanted to pack him a whole bag of stuff to come. So we said we didn't think he needed quite that much. Now I'm using a puppet, but once a toy, but once the children are used to the song, it's great to actually use the children. In fact, you can't stop them bouncing around to this. One little kangaroo jumping up and down. One little kangaroo jumping all around. One little kangaroo having lots of fun. Jumping up and down in the sun. And the chorus goes, jump, 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 jumpity, jump. Jump, little kangaroos, jump. And then, of course, you have two kangaroos. Like I say, I have trouble stopping the children bouncing all over the place during this, but that's a great song. So that's 2 out of Hubble Bubble that I've shared with you. It's quite an old book now, getting a bit like me, but there's a lot of useful things. And like we all do, it's a case of adapting those kind of things. There's also a great little book called, if you've not seen, Me. This actually isn't to do with using a prop, but it's a great song for getting little people going. I don't know if you know this, ladies, what about Jelly Belly? So it starts 2, 4, 6, 8.
2, 4, 6, 8.
Tell me what is on your plate.
Tell me what is on your plate.
Jelly.
Jelly.
We're going to have some jelly. Hoorah, hoorah. We're going to have some jelly. Hoorah, hoorah. Jelly for my dinner. Jelly for my tea. Jelly, jelly down my belly. Hip, 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 hooray. And basically you're getting the children to share with you what they want on their plate. Doesn't matter that the rhyme's gone, it's just extending the vocabulary, getting them to join in. And that's, like I say, something I've noticed an issue with. Similar there, if you are familiar with little teddy dances, extending the vocabulary using positional language, teddy's on, teddy's under, or on the different parts that teddy can dance, like head, shoulder, hand, and so on. The kangaroo song was great for keeping the beat. And another one for keeping the beat is My Little Princess Blossom puppet. I usually get the children to keep the beat on their hands. And we usually have a discussion before we start about what colour Wellingtons they're going to wear. And they've usually got a story to tell you about the Wellingtons. And this little song goes, rain is falling down, splash. Rain is falling down, splash. Pitter, patter, pitter, patter. Rain is falling down, splash. Don't know if my little team of ladies would like to have a go at that. Off we go. Rain is falling down, splash. Rain is falling down, splash. Pitter, patter, pitter, patter. Rain is falling down, splash. And I usually get them walking around the room and jumping into puddles, that physicality that's so important to feeling the whole thing. Instruments. Ladies, if you could grab yours, please. We are going to be an old MacDonald had a band. So this is where my first instrument I'm going to use are tin lids, which are fabulous jar tin lids, or even, so that's a totally free, so you were going to throw it away, resource that you could have in your setting. So, old MacDonald, that's a bit low. Old MacDonald had a farm. No, he didn't. He had a band. Oh, dear. Thought it was going too well. Old MacDonald had a band. E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had some lids. E-I-E-I-O. With a here and a there, here and there, everywhere. Old MacDonald had a band, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had a tambourine, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm,
In that
band he had a tambourine, E-I-E-I-O. With a here and a there, here and there, everywhere. Old MacDonald had a band, E-I-E-I-O. And on that band, on that band he had some eggs. Whichever you want. E-I-E-I-O. And here and there, here, there, everywhere. Old MacDonald had a band, E-I-E-I-O. Thank you for that, ladies. So, revisiting those songs that the children know well, allowing them to enjoy and to re-engage with the music curriculum. I mentioned about using the puppets at the start of the session, and I'd always use that to reinforce good sitting, good looking, good listening, and particularly good singing. So my puppet isn't going to come out and say hello to you unless you're doing those things. Lots of things like the lovely books. Sue Nichols, Bobby Shafter, Clap Your Hands. Like I say, there's a full bibliography coming at some point with this. These are songs that are from using well-known tunes. Now, just because they're well-known to us doesn't necessarily mean actually that the children are familiar with them, but it does make it easier for us as practitioners to be doing some songs. So one I particularly like is Make Your Sound Like Mine. So we can, if you want to grab an instrument, ladies, and then you can do this. Make your sound, I need an instrument. Make your sound as quiet as mine, as quiet as mine, as quiet as mine. Make your sound as quiet as mine, and do it after me. You recognise the tune, it's the Muffin Man. So you've got quiet, make your sound as loud as mine, as loud as mine, as loud as mine. Make your sound as loud as mine, and do it after me. Wonderful. So obviously you can go through the musical dimensions, loud, quiet, fast, slow. I had a really positive lesson with the group that I think has been the quietest for an FS group for a long time this last week. And they just started to get back into singing before half term. And I thought, oh no, they're going to lose it over half term. Well, they didn't, and they came back and they were still engaging. And they had instruments out. And they absolutely loved engaging them because they could do both. They could sing and they could use their instruments. Chanting, fabulous. A book that's already been mentioned. I think Di mentioned that Linda Bant's book. I found a lovely little chant in here. Caterpillar Crunch. Yes, Penny knows it. I love this. There was a pause marked in it, and I thought, oh gosh, we could find loads and loads of different things the caterpillar could eat. So I was crunch, 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 crunch. Here comes a caterpillar for his lunch, walking round on his many feet, then stops for a, and then there's a rest on, in this case it says green leaf, but we could have all sorts of suggestions. Nice link into the butterfly song Lucy shared with you earlier. And if you're doing the Hungry Caterpillar again, a nice link into there. So to summarise really, I think I've discovered that we need to go back to what they already know to give the children security, familiarity and build routines. Then you can slip in some new material, add things. Use the puppets, the teddies, whatever props you have to encourage the children to engage and participate in the lesson. So I hope I haven't, like I said, been teaching my grandmother's to suck eggs too much, but it helped me, it reminded me of this back to basics, going back to things that I really knew about, but have really helped. Oh, I've got, there's some Q&As in there. Oh, it says, do you use specific animals to introduce the musical elements, i.e. lion for forte, mouse for piano? The answer is no, I haven't, but what a great idea, thank you. I shall use that. Oh, and someone says lots of brilliant ideas for activities. Thanks, Angela. Well, thank you. And thank you to the ladies here for helping me. I think Pat's coming to have a word now.
Thank you, Angela. That was marvellous. Don't worry, everybody, if you've got more questions, we will take them at the end of the session. We're going to have a short break now, just for 15 minutes. So go and grab that cup of coffee, pop to the loo. And when we come back at 2:30,